there, and happy Wednesday with Matt and Marty. And we have a special guest. This is Verlon Snell. He is a new member of our EXP family. So we asked him to come on today and tell us a little bit about himself and his real estate career. It's I always enjoy hearing people's stories. So thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited and shaking at the same time. I feel like I'm on television. But so a little bit about me. Served 20 years in the military. Met my wife in Kuwait. We got married in California. Had a daughter in Washington State and a son in Germany.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Wow.
So your kids are from everywhere.
When you say they're from everywhere, they are literally from everywhere. So been in real estate now for 5 years, been at EXP for about 6 months. And I got into real estate primarily to help my veterans. One of the things that a lot of folks don't understand, that we as veterans speak a totally different language. And when you start dealing with us, some things we don't understand, some things you don't understand. And then there's a lot of opportunities out there for veterans that a lot of veterans just don't realize what they have. So I got into the business just so I could educate, and of course, help out my veterans. And just try and get them to understand that, hey, we're throwing money away that the government is basically giving to you for free to kind of help get you into a home. So why not take advantage of it?
Sure. I think that is amazing. And I love that your passion for helping. And I think to be in the real estate profession, we have to have that servant's heart because we are serving others,
Yes.
But you're serving at a whole different level. And thank you for your military service, yours and your wife's both.
Thank you.
I don't think you all get thank yous enough. That's a huge sacrifice family-wise and whatnot. But I think it is really awesome that you have taken your real estate career and focused in that direction.
Well, one thing, some people may not even think about, what other benefits are out there for veterans, especially somebody that's maybe 60 years old and served, 40 years ago. Do they still qualify for some of those type of benefits?
They do. Their benefits never go away. And even if their spouses did not serve, they still are entitled to some benefits, especially if the veteran passed. They get a lot of spousal benefits as well. They kind of take over the actual veterans benefits, which allow them to still purchase a home using the VA purchase loan. Mm-hmm. They still can get medical and dental for free. So there's a lot of opportunities out there that even our older vets are not realizing that they still have. They think just because they got out and they no longer are part of the VA, they don't have any more benefits, which is actually wrong. So.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think it's important for people to understand the VA loans. From what I have learned over the years from my lender partners and things like that is that, the VA loan is probably one of the best loans you can get. Tell us some of the things about the VA loan that people may not realize. Obviously you've got, rates are a big thing right now. So talk to us a little bit about the VA loan and rates and some benefits people may not realize they get using that.
The biggest thing, and what I try to get veterans to understand, is with the VA loan, you have no down payment. So that's one of the biggest things that, which is stopping a lot of people from buying homes today, the fact that they think that they have to have this big old pot of money to be able to put down. With the VA loan, it is a no down payment loan. Like you just mentioned, you get better interest rates, and there's no additional fees that are tacked onto the loan. So a lot of additional fees that I'm gonna call them civilians get, we're discounted, so we don't get those fees. Now, the misconception that I try to explain to a lot of my veterans is there's a lot of lenders out there that say they can do VA loans, but try to find yourself someone that's actually a VA specialist, right. Have that designation and have had the training to be able to make sure you get all of your benefits of the loan. Everybody wants to do a VA loan because it's the easiest loan to process, but then sometimes the veteran themselves get shortchanged. So if you're not sure who some specialists are, contact me. I know a handful of them that I'll be glad to share with you guys, and just make sure you're getting all of your entitlements that you're entitled to.
That's
good info. Yeah.
That's a very good point. And I have, in my experience in real estate, have learned that all lenders are not created equal, and everybody has their niche. And like you said, a VA loan, those are, from what I understand, are really, really great loans. But I never thought about the fact that a veteran, there is someone who specializes in VA. And I usually say that to them, like, if you're going to do VA, you need to go with somebody that really knows the ins and outs of VA. But to your point, to make sure they get all the things that are available to them. I mean, they worked and put in the time and deserve to get those benefits. So I would say a lot of those benefits go untapped just because people don't know.
You know, and it's funny you say that. So it was about 6 years ago, I got a call from the VA, said, hey, you have some education money that you have not used. Do you want to go back to school? And I was like, sure. And I was like, so what are the prerequisites? It's like, basically, it just has to be an accredited school and has to be on our list. So I applied to a couple of different schools. I shared the information with the VA. They not only paid for the school, but paid me to go to school. So even after being out of the service for 10 years, I was still able to go back to school using my VA benefits. And that's just some of the things that the VA has to offer that a lot of veterans don't take advantage of. They want to get these promotions and these, nice paying jobs, but they don't have the education, but they don't have the money to go back to school, and nobody wants to get student loans.
Right.
But you can tap into your VA educational benefits and then utilize that money to go back to school, plus get a stipend while you're going.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are some of the benefits that you love, and then the medical, the dental. I mean, shoot, I break a pair of glasses about every 2 or 3 weeks. I always sit on them because I throw them in the car first, and then I sit down. But that's just another benefit that you can go back to the VA and say, hey, look, I broke my glasses. They'll send you another pair. But a lot of people don't take advantage of those. They don't take advantage of how the market out there is actually kind of steering them away from using their VA loans. And I try to get people to understand that's not what you want to do, because you jump into a higher interest rate. You're coming up with all this money for down payment. Hey, let's sit down, let's analyze, let's take a look at your VA options and go from there.
Well, I do. I'd say you should mention the market, and I've been in, and I can say guilty here. People being not realizing that think about a VA loan being 100% loan, that sort of thing. Just because it's 100% loan doesn't necessarily mean that the person doesn't have a down payment. It's just they don't have to use it. When you got interest rates that are really good, keeping their cash in their pocket and using the VA loan, there's nothing. It doesn't make them a lesser buyer. But I can say, honestly, being in the market as long as I have, people do look at VA loans and think that it means somebody that doesn't have the funds to purchase any other way. But really, that's not true. It's just that is such a good loan. It's a shame to pass it up when you have that opportunity. So I think that's something that as realtors, we could help educate one another and our buyers and sellers to let them know that those VA loans are really great loans. And from what I understand from the loan officers that I have talked to, they're really simple loans to get, a lot of less red tape. Now, and I think people just hear government loan or federal guideline, and they all of a sudden think that there's all this extra red tape.
Yes.
And so it's good to know that, that's kind of a misconception.
And then along with that too, Marty, is what I found out, a lot of veterans have gotten out and they have lost their DD-214s. And they think just because they no longer have possession of their DD-214s, they can't use their VA loans. Most of your VA specialists know how to obtain a copy of what's called your certificate of eligibility, which allows you to qualify for the loan. And then within the last 6 months, something else that a lot of people do not realize, VA took their cap off the loans now. So there's no longer a cap on the VA loans. If you can financially afford it, you could obtain a VA loan. I had a friend down in Georgia just closed on a house for $1.3 million last week.
Right.
And he was able to do it through a VA loan. So there's no longer a cap. So if you have the financial capabilities to pay the loan back, VA will back it.
That was the next thing I was actually going to ask you. I know that there were some stipulations on those, and I had read that there was talk of lifting that cap, and then I heard that they had lifted it because it was somewhere around that 400 and some odd, right under $500,000 mark.
Right, 428,000.
Right. So that's no longer. So
that's no longer. No, they have taken it. So, and then also too, the beautiful part is now VA is only requiring you. I mean, it's always been this way, but you only have to stay in that home for the first year. And then now you can take that home after that first year and do whatever you want. You can use it as investment properties. You can use it as rental property. Do whatever you want.
Then get another VA loan.
And then go get another VA loan.
That's my next question. That's 1 year. That's a great opportunity.
That's a great opportunity.
that is great information.
For you to be able to just go out. Because once you close that loan, you can utilize your VA loan again.
There's your house hacking.
There's your house hacking
for the day.
So
if you're a veteran, you can
veteran house hacks.
live there for 1 year.
Yes, that's all you have
And
to do.
then rent that house and go do another one.
Yes, and you can use that rental information
For 0% down.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
All day.
That's amazing.
Now that's That's worth
If you get nothing else out of this,
that's a good,
out of this
Yes.
a Wednesday live, that is something to share. That's great information.
great investment opportunity, especially for younger folks.
For younger folks, exactly, especially the young folks that are still in the military that are having to move around a lot, because the average time on station at a duty station now is 3.5 years. So if you stay in the house for 3.5 years, you build that equity up. You can leave that house at that installation, rent that house out, take the equity, and then now, or take a loan against that equity, and now you can go purchase another house. It's just a no-brainer. I don't understand why more veterans don't take advantage of it.
I think they just don't know.
They just don't know.
And I was getting ready to say, and I fault the military because they don't teach. Even when you get ready to get out, there's nothing to teach you about your benefits and what you actually are entitled to once you get out. So, me being an old fart, I try to teach the young kids as much as I know, because guys, I didn't have anybody to tell me what I know now when I was getting out the military, because those guys didn't know. So I hang out on the military base a lot, just educating even the senior enlisted that are on the base. Hey guys, are you using your VA benefits? Are you using your VA loan to purchase a house? Or are you staying in government quarters and throwing money away?
Right.
You could build equity in your house here. When you get ready to PCS, you can leave that house here, get your rental company, rent it out, and then move to your next location and purchase another one.
That's great information. Let me ask you this too, and you may or may not know this because we might be getting too deep into like loan type stuff, because I know it all depends on how long you've been in and what that looks like. Used to, and I haven't done a whole lot of VA loans, and I used to do quite a bit of them. I haven't in quite some time with my clients, but I haven't had many military clients lately. But there used to be, like, depending on how many years you were in and your eligibility, that I've heard people saying, like, I used up my VA. And so have they changed the rules that now you can have more than one VA loan at a time? Or is that have something to do with like seniority or years in, or what does that look like?
So that goes back to that cap that we were talking about, where you can have multiple VA loans at the same time.
Okay.
You can do that. Like I said, you just have to meet that criteria of you've lived in this house for a year. And when they took that cap away, because like you said, people used to max out their cap, that $428,000 that they used to get. And then now when they went to purchase their second home, if they haven't maxed it out, if they've only had like maybe $50,000 left, then that's all the VA would back.
Gotcha.
That's
where I was. Okay, that makes sense.
That
makes more sense.
Yeah. So
the cap was you can only borrow total, and you could buy 4 properties, but it had to cap out at that 428 or whatever it was.
Right.
And now that they've lifted the cap, that's where you can have multiple
homes.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah, it was a game changer when the VA released that, and a lot of people don't know. Check your VA news letter that comes out once a month. It has some great information in there. Or contact your local DAV agent, and they have all the information right there at their fingertips. Where you basically paid for them while I was in the military. That 50 cents that they took out our checks every month went somewhere, and those are some of the entities that it went to kind of help us, be able to sustain once we got out of the military.
Sure.
So a lot of guys don't utilize those, and I tell them all the time, hey, check those avenues out. Find out what's out there for you. My favorite other hangout is Operation Stand Down. You can go down there. It's ran by all retirees. They have a wealth of information that they'd love to share. They host classes. Even if you're homeless, they give you a place to stay. They give you a place to wash your clothes, receive your mail, cook meals, all at Operation Stand Down. So if you haven't tapped into that, definitely go down there and check them out. And they have a whole opportunities for volunteering as well. I think I'm up to about 2,000 bags of groceries that I packed now for Operation Stand Down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's just kind of help passing out. So it's a great opportunity for anybody that's a veteran, or you just want to help out at all.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Great.
That's wonderful. If you guys are a veteran or know a veteran and want to learn more about purchasing, houses, or just invented or just information, give Verlon a call. You can call us. We'll connect you with Verlon. He has a wealth of knowledge in that area, and we are just so thrilled to have you as part of our group, and just excited to be able to learn from you and how we can better support our veterans and better serve our clients with this information. This is, information is knowledge, and knowledge is power. So,
yes,
this is great. Any last things that little tidbits of information or anything you think that people need to know about?
your DD 214, you just don't understand the power that you have utilizing it. If you don't know how to obtain a copy of it, give me a call. You can go down to the local VA. They'll walk you through how to get it, or you can go to the government website. I believe it's, I'm not going to quote it. Give me
Just call them.
Yeah.
Call us,
Give me a
call
call,
Verlon. We'll get you in touch
and
with
we'll
him.
get
We'll
you-
get
yeah,
that,
we'll
get that
DD
information for
214.
you.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we can also when this posts, we can put it into the comments. We'll
Okay,
tag you in
yeah.
that. You can put that into the comments too
Awesome.
for people, and that way they're easy to get in touch with you and get all that information. But we're so excited to have
Thank you.
you on, and I mean, I learned something today. I hope everybody else
Oh,
learned
yeah.
something today. This was a
It's
great,
a great addition to our EXP family, and looking forward
absolutely,
to learning more.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, and we will see you all next Wednesday.
Bye.